Now I just gotta find the Hall of Spirits, which is somewhere. I definitely know the names of all the buildings around here, and I'm definitely not getting lost. Are you the Hall of Spirits? You look important. You're like the central room. I hope. Okay, you all weren't here last time, right? Yeah. So I was right about what the Hall of Spirits was. Hi? Wakey wakey. It looks like someone took 3D models, yeah, it looks like someone took masks that are 3D models and pasted them over the physical body of a videotaped person. You in particular, your head wobble doesn't make sense. Look how much that mask is moving compared to, like, it doesn't seem like it's right. Or is that just static? They're trying to motion track it, but it's like moving like crazy. It makes her look like she's awake. It makes her look like she's not sleeping, but instead she's like awake and she's like sassily like mocking the things I'm saying because her head's going back and forth. Okay. Okay. Well, this screams do story progression. Because the operative word she used was that you should talk to them when they wake. So I'm betting that they wake up when you do story progression. Because the game's structured for me to do these two prison worlds, and you get here and Achenar and Cirrus are up to some kind of wily ways, but there's explicit reference to like, you should go to my prison world anyway, even though you already know we're here and doing bad things. And I'm like, this is a weird structure. I'm confused by the structure of this game generally. So it appears the game... Hello. Still not sure what to make of those guys. But it would appear that they want me to go to the other prison world and do, you know, all the puzzles and whatnot on Achenar's prison, learn about his backstory and stuff. I wonder if someone who lives here is going to explain what I should do with those. Like, generally, much like Myst III, I understand the premise of organizing the game that way. You know, go through the two brothers' worlds, learn their backstory. For me, it's just weird that you have access to this world at all before you've done both. Because, like, the time that this was given to you was semi-arbitrary. You see the guy go into a book and drop the book and stuff like that after you finish one world instead of after you finish two worlds, which just seemed odd. Because, I mean, they could have just made that happen after you finished both worlds and then there wouldn't be this weird, strange setup here where, like, they've kidnapped Yeesha, and they're clearly on Serenia, or Serena. I can see both of them there. I've met them both, face to face. But I think that I think before I can stop their plans, I think I have to go to Achenar's prison world, I think. Otherwise, I would, if that's not the case, then I probably wouldn't ever have to go to Achenar's planet ever. Which would mean that the level would be skippable, which would raise even more questions about the structure. Huh. Oh hey, yeah, the book warps you into this landing. Or that's... I don't even... Wow, is this where the game started? I don't remember being here. Because I guess I've just never come back. Right, because I'd have to go through the front door. Can I go through here? into Atrus's study. Oh yeah, this is a place. So this is where we encounter. This is where Savidro attacked us, if I remember correctly. It looks kind of different. This is where Savidro took the book and the events of Myst III began. Oh, Savidro, we miss you. You were the one good actor in the entire series. That was a baffling spike in acting.
Atrus, I thought you were going to redesign this room, but it looks just like it did before the fire.
Not just like it did, my love. Look, the table is different.
That's the memorable memory. They're explaining the appearance of the room versus last time. That's funny. Nope. What was that?
For 20 years, I've harbored a secret. People talk about my sons and the evil things they did. Yet still I remain strangely mute. I do not discuss my own actions that day, or the rage I felt when I burned the 2 linking books that had snared them. Some people believe my sons died in those fires, but the truth is, they did not. You're the only one I can confide in, my friend. So I'm asking you to come to Tamana. There are things I must tell you about my sons.
That's the letter that started this entire game. That was the pen he wrote it with. I'm the only one he can confide in because I'm the one person that actually was there. Whereas he keeps it a secret otherwise.
The first time I placed my hand on Serenia's linking panel, I remember thinking, this age will be unlike any I've journeyed to so far. And it was. The sky was crisp and clear. The rivers and waterfalls sparkled like diamonds. Even the worn paths threading through the canopies of stone took my breath away. I met a group of women who told me they had been expecting me, and as we talked late into the evening, they did seem to know a lot about me. Yet the more they explained why, the more impossible their story seemed. Of course, Catherine's ages have always struck me as impossible. Why should this one have been different? One of the stories the Protectors told me, for that is what they called themselves, moves me to this day. Many lifetimes ago, a child from the village contracted a fever and died. His parents, who had loved him very much, decided to bury him under a waterfall and built a balloon to take him there. The parents' grief was so strong, however, that when they landed their balloon, they could only carry the child a short way. So they set him down beside a giant flower and slept. All night, the mother's tears never stopped flowing. Eventually, they sank through the ground and bathed the flower's roots. Moved by the tears, the flower told the parents to carry their child into her epistle. She would preserve his memories so they could visit him whenever they wished. Then the flower passed one of the tears back through her roots, turning it into a container to hold memories, and the father dove underwater to collect it. And that is how the memory chamber first displayed her power to the Serenians. Having read Catherine's descriptive book, I realized that the plant the Protectors called the memory chamber is but the fruiting body of a massive fungus. Like any fungus, it recycles dead organic material into nutrients. In this case, filled memory globes. Since Yeesha has recently asked to see Serenia, I will share this explanation with her, as I did her brothers when they were her age. Yet I cannot help thinking that my scientific understanding of Serenia pales in comparison to the Protector's simple tale. I had not fully realized how many years have passed since I visited this age, so when I stepped out of the linking cave with Yeesha, I was pleased to see only a little has changed. A new group of women have replaced the Protectors I knew, but they seemed to be as friendly as the first. Yeesha took an immediate liking to the one called Anya. As we made our plans to spend more time here in the future, I felt confident our relationship with these women would be mutually beneficial. After an absence of several weeks, we returned to Serenia last night. Catherine agreed to accompany us, so we will stay for a week or more. This morning, I took advantage of Catherine's presence to re-explore alone. My route soon took me beyond Serenia's current memory chamber to the old abandoned flower which had served the village centuries ago. The man-made edifice surrounding the chamber looked much the same as I remembered, although the flower itself was in far worse state of decay. I tried opening the door to explore inside, but found it locked. Just as well. 30 years ago, the Protectors told me how the delicate inner heart of the chamber emits a strong fragrance as part of its reproductive cycle. The closer the chamber gets to maturation, the more toxic it becomes, forcing the Protectors to find a new flower for their use. No doubt the collected fumes inside the original chamber would have made it impossible for me to survive there very long. Catherine says I should have seen it coming, but this morning, Yeesha asked permission to meet Serenia's ancestors. I tried to explain that the place the Protectors called Dream is not real. How can it be? But she insists on finding out for herself. So what am I to do? I suppose it will do no harm to let her try. From what Anya told me, it should take several months for Yeesha to learn how to dream. And it has certainly been a while since I've had enough free time to concentrate on the Crystal Viewer's attachment. Keeping my inquisitive daughter occupied may end up being beneficial for us all. I cannot believe how quickly time has flown. Today we attended a ceremony on Serenia's celebrating Yeesha's mastery of their customs. I must admit, although my doubts about the dream realm remain, seeing my daughter's pride as she received the Protector's necklace made it all seem worthwhile. Yeesha said something strange during our writing lesson today. She thought it was sad that Catherine rarely writes anymore, and asked if we should explain that just because someone dies after visiting an age doesn't mean the age's writer is responsible. I knew immediately she was talking about my grandmother. Yet Catherine and I have never fully described Anna's death, so how she knew this information is a mystery. When I asked, she said her necklace had said something while she was holding Anna's picture. The answer was completely unsatisfactory. Yet I must admit, Yeesha had displayed an uncanny knowledge of things she never witnessed ever since receiving the Protector's gift. I'd like to examine this necklace more closely, but at the moment the situation with Cirrus and Achenar takes precedence. Perhaps after my friend leaves us tomorrow.
So a few key things there. We learned about the plant, but also apparently Catherine's worlds tend to have like different rules to them altogether, and specifically Serenia is a planet that it has an age that she made herself, as opposed to the usual ones that are all from Atrus. And apparently their grandmother, which I assume was on that side of the family, the Catherine's mom, must have died after going to Serenia or some place other than that, and then she lost the desire to write, perhaps? Is that Serenia? That is Serenia, isn't it? Yeah, it occurs to me that this linking book linked to a different part of the same chapter. we ended up in the place from the beginning of Myst 3, which I'm trying to remember whether or not we came here at the beginning of this game or not. Did we start this game already on the tram with Yeesha? I don't remember. I don't know if I remember being here, even though it is familiar for obvious reasons. Oh. That's the back side of this door, which I assume opens now? Okay. Now we have access to a door that I didn't have access to before. So that now I know how these areas connect. To this room with the glowy chambers and stuff. The, I guess it's a greenhouse. It's also where the electricity was, like the fuse box was or whatever. So that door is now opened. We now know what's behind that. That's good. I can use that to go back to Serenia. Although I think I can also go there via the book I used in the first place. Isn't that like down there on the deck somewhere? So I have 2 books that link there. But specifically the book in that age links back to the study from the beginning of Myst III instead of here. I gotta remember how to get around in this place. Was it? Do I take the elevator down? I think I just hop in the elevator and go down instead of up, don't I? I have to go back to the containment room. Oh, that's the... This is the elevator. You know what? I've got the zip feature. Oh, shit. I meant to scroll. Whoops. Oh, it's not gonna help me, is it? No. You can't zip to places that are disconnected right now. Dang it. There's a specific form of disorientation I get in this game that's oddly specific to it. Alright. Open. Oh, the same lever opens it, okay. Is this the submarine track, or is the... Ah, crap. We're in trouble. We might be in some trouble here. Crap. Alright, so the other option was to go upstairs, which is also not where I'm trying to go. Well, it was across from there, so it's like under here. Oh, the fireplace, right. That's why it feels so nonsensical. Because it's not an actual pathway that takes you there. It's a bizarre... whatever this is. There we go, I had the wrong elevator in mind. It's hard to imagine them making these, isn't it? Did they hire outsiders to do this stuff? Because this is like massive smelting and some completely insane, like, setup. I'm curious about this debris, now that I'm looking at this. This is a track that goes into the rock. That seems important as, like, a containment gateway. And this whole side is not attached, and there's a hole in the wall, which could have been there. But then this stuff's like crashed on the floor. I'm thinking that Cirrus must have used the explosives in here to destroy the entranceway and escape. I'm not sure exactly what kind of access people had. Can you grab it, please? There we go. I'm trying to imagine how this system worked when they were using it for visitation. Is the idea that a prison... I think the idea is that a prison spawns in the other person's world, and then the people from this world would go visit that little prison cell. So I don't think that Achenar and Cirrus were supposed to ever come here, but they might have still had a gate set up to keep it contained in case they got through. But Cirrus had explosives because, well, he was rather unsupervised in that world and had some crazy crap. Alright, let's try this place out. It looks distinctly brighter than the other one, so that'll be nice. That's unnerving. Alright, don't touch those, they're dangerous. So now we know the weird crystal stuff is what caused the explosion. This is where you'd first encounter in this world. And if we went to Yeesha's study, we know that a similar structure was given to her by Cirrus. So even if you hadn't been to Spire yet, you might be able to figure out something about that. Possibly. But they're probably going to be really coy about it throughout this age, about what exactly caused the escape, because if you came here first, they don't necessarily want to give away that Cirrus totally broke him out. But it's pretty explicit at this point. So her bag got caught in that, and she ran? Wait, but she was... Wait, what? So she went running around in this age to escape. I'm trying to figure out the timeline here, though, because she would have been on this side of the wall, but this is also the same side of the wall that Cirrus would have come from. Did they come here at the same time? Did Cirrus capture Yeesha, then take her to Achenar, and then break out Achenar? Or what's the order of operations here? Or did he break out Achenar first, but then for some reason Yeesha also came here afterwards, then ran around in this age? I'm trying to figure out the timeline a bit. Discarded a rope. Ah, some color. Daylight is a welcome addition in the Myst games. The dark areas are a little harder to make out. Especially with the low resolution and the compression and everything. There's wildlife over there, and there's two paths. That's just straight up a crab. Hey there. Is that a surrender animation? What's over there? Oh. acting? I think they're trying to set it up. They're trying to set up Achenar as being the villain of this game. So if you come here first, it's like super suspicious against him. But then you encounter. But then I could even imagine maybe you finish this entire chapter having no idea whether Achenar is good or bad. But all signs point to him being the one that's doing something wrong. And then you get to that chapter and he's like, still be like, oh, this isn't what it looks like. Although you definitely have the question of how the hell was Cirrus in this chapter, which definitely gives you more to investigate. Is there a path through here? What am I looking at? There's like tubes. Oh, rope? Going up through there. This is a thing. Okay. Huh. I don't think I'd do anything here for now. And I'm not sure if I can even quite immediately tell what it's for, unless it's just a climbing apparatus. Giant worm monster destroying a ship? Is that what we're suggesting here? Concern? Oh yeah, a lot of climbing ropes available. Is that a path? It looks like it is. So Atrus went and made another shipwreck cove again, like the one from the first game. We'll see if we encounter anything that's like way worse about it, but so far this seems like a way better age to live in than the other one. It's like a coastal island with like sea life and crabs. I wonder if they're going for like a nature versus nurture thing. Like maybe something that hints at the idea that like maybe the two prisons shape the two characters differently even after they arrived. Like Cirrus had to go to really ridiculous science lengths to even survive there because that place was so inhospitable and awful, whereas this place is like a rocky island where you can, you know, there's wildlife to get to kill for food and so on. And so he probably could have just adapted to this environment and gone from there. Is there a fish jumping